What are the silent killers of a med spa's growth, and how can you avoid them? I've seen a few things over the years in terms of when you look at them from a distance, you just say, that's a tough situation that medical aesthetics practice is going through. And how, if you find yourself in a similar situation, can you address it? And be wary of these, because you don't want these to take down an organization that otherwise was looking promising and giving great customer experiences and great transformations to its clients. So they are as follows. First is buying fake followers can cause your Instagram account, your Facebook account to get shut down, banned, and terminated. This is a killer because I have seen one just practices do this, and then all of a sudden you go to their page and it says page not found, cannot locate this profile, error messages. It's just not a good look at all. If a practice has, let's say, 2,000, 3,000 followers on one day, next thing you know, they got 8, 7,000. And you sit back and you say, how did that happen? And then a few days go by and they're banned. Or they go from their 8,000 because they just bought followers to now like 4.5, all in a week. So there were 2, now they're at 8, now they're at 4.5. It's a giveaway. So you look at that and you say, not a good look. What's the solution? Don't buy followers. Don't give in to the temptation. There's a lot of scam artists who will want to sell you the sun, the moon, and the stars and all these fake followers, and none of them are going to buy from you because they're all bots from just spammy vendors, sometimes all over the world. They're just trying to rip people off. So avoid buying fake followers. And then second silent killer is posting overly revealing visuals on social media, because those can also get your account banned. If you post things that are too risque or things that it just shows too much, then I've seen it, accounts get banned for that reason. And you could get flagged, you could get reported, you get negative feedback about you, get a negative perception beyond getting banned, which is bad enough. You get negative perception. It's just not a good look all around. And then the third is tech problems. Killer, especially with the phone lines. Now this one I've seen this. I almost couldn't believe it when it happened. Medical aesthetics practice was doing a big push for the Christmas and holiday season. Text messages, paid ads, consistent posting on social media. They were going, full force. And they were generating a lot of phone calls, a lot of interest in different services, people inquiring about, people pre-purchasing packages online. So like $1,200, $1,500, various different amounts, but buying them before they've ever received the treatment. And the phone lines for that medical aesthetics practice went dead for the whole month of December. And the practice didn't know it until it was too late. The receptionist and the team there was just saying, well, I guess for whatever reason, it's a quiet month. The regulars were coming in. So they were saying, oh, well, at least we got our steady, loyal customers coming in, but they just didn't notice many other calls because there were no other calls because the phone lines were dead. And for weeks, to really think about the amount of revenue lost in that time is crazy. And you had people charge back through their bank. People bought services in advance, didn't hear from the practice at all, called multiple times, had a terrible experience customer service wise. It was a brutal experience. Charged back through the bank, and what should have been a victory for the business, a victory, marketing wise, really every box was being checked, was just shot because the phone lines went dead. So make sure your tech works, your online booking through your site. Stress test that every now and then. Try to test different things, see if it's checking all your boxes and if it allows people to book their appointments, because there can be leaks in the bucket. There can be missed opportunities where potential clients or even are being lost, or there's friction being created with even existing long-time individuals. And the more you think about it, you have to have your tech work, and appointment reminders too. Make sure that your appointment reminders are in sync, set up, because that's really a tough one. If people are booked, but they're not, but in the busyness of life, they don't immediately remember, that's where the reminders can really help. But if there's a system outage with your software, or things get out of sync, or you introduce a new technology and that puts things in a little bit of adds a little element of tension for a period of time, that's where you really want to make sure your appointment reminders are still going out, because they are quite critical for your business. And then we go into the fourth. So the third problem was tech related. Then you have staff. So often staff is the strength for practices. I work with organizations where that is tried and true. I'm happy to say it's just reliable, dependable group of people who are in your corner. On the flip side, there are times when I've seen situations in other organizations where certain injectors are stealing clients from the main injector, or different service providers are quietly gathering the contact information for their clients in your business. So these are really more so your clients, because you paid the marketing to get them there. You pay the marketing to keep them on top, keep your company on top of their mind, that keeps them coming back in. You pay the people to service them. So these really are your clients, and they're being siphoned away. I mean, that's a really sad thing to see. So what do you eventually have to do? You have to address the problem, and everyone has their own way of handling this. I've seen injectors, and frankly, you got to get rid of the people who are trying to take away your clients. Have policies in place about, not in terms of what contact information people are and are not allowed to get, and everybody handles that differently. But it sure is sad to see theft, and it's a very tough situation that has to be addressed. As soon as you find it out, you just got to nip it in the bud right then and there. So staff situations, staff problems, stealing. And then another silent killer. And then you want to talk about silent. They're not going to broadcast it to you. That really is a silent killer. Little by little, in the littlest ways, some people have done this. Now, again, it's not like this happens at every practice. As you heard earlier, I know teams that are just tremendous, 10 out of 10 stars, and those really are great examples to watch. But if you're in the flip side, then just handle it immediately. Just nip it in the bud as soon as you can. And then handing off, here's another tough one. Handing off your marketing to people that don't know what they're doing or are untrustworthy. So either they're just not, they don't know how to handle the situation, and that can cause everything from just the message not quite connecting, all the way over to, I've seen accounts that use essentially spam methods. So you have a person that doesn't really quite know what they're doing, using spammy technology, spammy methods to try to get attention to your practice. And the platform catches on and bans or warns your company about doing these things. So, I saw, this was quite the case, but in a 7-week period of time, I saw a Instagram account get shut down 6 times in a 7-week period of time, because the person managing the account did not know what they were doing. They were using untrustworthy, just spammy softwares to try to do X, Y, and Z for the account, and it just totally tanked it. And those, sometimes that's how I get involved, because I am tasked with cleaning up the mess, figuring out what happened, who did what did they do, why, and how do we prevent this from going forward. So it's quite a situation when that happens. And then another killer is death by discount. Now, discounts are fine every now and then for certain things over a certain period of time, but if it's never-ending, constant discounts, then I've seen medical aesthetics practices close in 2025 recently, not too far geographically, but one of the telltale signs tends to be when they're discounting everything 35% off, 50% off, like forever, and they don't stop posting about it in any capacity, just keeps going, going, and going. And then you find that you can check back in 3-4 months later and they're out of business. And you know, that's called death by discounts. Discounts work at various times. It's just, it can't be all the time, every minute, every day. And then one of the other aspects to keep in mind is this last silent killer. We've been through 6, everything from tech to death by discount to just a variety of different other ones. But a poverty mindset is a real killer, because if you're not willing to invest in your organization, then in a sense, are you saying, is your organization worth the investment? Yes or no? Don't have a poverty mindset. Your company, your vision for this company and business is worth the investment. And you know, I can speak to the marketing side of things. If you're not willing to pay to get the word out about your business, then you might just end up being the best hidden secret, and that you don't want either. Do not have a poverty mindset that limits you to the point where you don't invest, or you don't want to spend very much, or like next to nothing on your marketing, because you have to get the word out about your organization so people learn that they could have a transformative experience at your practice. And those are the things I want you to be aware of to safeguard against just different tough situations that I've seen practices and organizations grapple with over the years. And if you want either help navigating any one of those situations, or perhaps you just want to say, well, okay, it's good to be aware of those, but I want to really enhance my marketing and take it to the next level, then feel free to go to michaelgabberti.com/schedule, where you can schedule a call to see if we would be a good fit to work together. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and have an excellent rest of your day.